Okay, everybody, how's it going? Wayne Eulery here. Welcome to another episode of the Thirsty Thursday Call. If this is your first time on the call, I want to go ahead and just welcome you, whether you're a guest or already involved in the Monavie opportunity. And we've done this call each and every Thursday over the past 5 years. And it's an honor to do the call to this day and to get all the amazing distributor field leaders as well as members of the corporate team to come on and share with us. If you'd like to get information, more information on the Thirsty Thursday call, all you got to do is text Thursday to 50500 on your smartphone. That's Thursday to 50500. And that will go ahead and send you back some information. If you are out of the country and that's not possible for you, don't worry, we got you covered. Just visit thirstythursdaycall.com. That's thirstythursdaycall.com. And for those of you that are online with us tonight, chatting with us on Facebook and whatnot, swing on over there to thirstythursdaycall.com, click on the blog, and look for today's post, and share some comments on there. As you hear Walter Noot share a nugget, or Paula Lazzari, or Angela, or Steve and Gina, or anybody who comes on tonight, share some nuggets on there, and it's great to see the community interacting with each other. So listen, tonight we do have an awesome lineup. We have Paula Lazzari, a gold executive on my team. She's really, just been putting the pedal to the metal and is going to share some awesome stuff with you tonight. But just before I bring her on, I do want to announce there are a couple of major meetings coming up, specifically in my neck of the woods, on the 2nd, of April, which will be next Tuesday. And I'm kind of running real quick to my page real quick so I can give you the exact information. Well, you can find it on monavie.com. But up in Elyria with Carl and Kathy Firestone, Steve and Gina Merritt are coming in for a View Open meeting. That's April 2nd at the Lorain County Community College, Spitzer Grand Room, 1005 North Abbey Road. Anyhow, go to monavie.com. If you got people up in the Cleveland area, you're going to want to send them to that meeting. It's going to be awesome. And then right after that, on April 3rd, so that would be Wednesday, there's another meeting. It's over in Butler, Pennsylvania, another open meeting. And Steve and Gina Merritt will be there as well. So you're not going to want to miss those two open meetings. I know that Angela and maybe some of the other speakers will announce some BBSs that are coming up as well. You guys want to make sure you're making the open meetings and the BBSs. They are so crucial to your growth in the Monavie opportunity. Let's see, what else? What other announcements? Oh, I know I have another announcement. I want to congratulate Heather Rogers. She's actually on my team for going bronze last week from the Texas area. Congratulations, Heather. And listen, guys, if you have people that are breaking a pin or whatnot and you get it to me, I have no problem. We'll do a little shout-out right before the call. And we, of course, want to see about listening to them or hearing how they went bronze or silver or gold. So please get that to me on Facebook or some way. There's a million and one ways to connect with me out there, and just let me know, and I'll be sure to get your new person on the call. Okay, because we want to hear it. We want to hear about that brand new success. We want to hear about that person who just hit a rank. So listen, I've known Paula now for several years. We met through this Monavie opportunity. I've come to know her and her husband and her kids. She's a very good friend of mine. And I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to hearing what she has to share tonight. I'm going to start off, though, Paula, with just kind of doing a quick little interview. I want to find out, and I know your story, but for the people who don't, Paula, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, great. You sound good. Yeah, I can hear you. You're coming through great. Paula, I want to know, what were you doing when Monavie fell into your hands, and how did it fall into your hands? And kind of just tell me that little beginning part of your experience with Monavie, if you can.
Okay, great. Wayne, thank you so much for inviting me to be on the call. I just love to, share my story with everybody, and I love jumping on here and hearing what everybody else has to say too. So, good evening, everybody. Well, I'm a real estate agent, and I was just actually at the real estate office, and a real estate friend of mine said, "Hey, you know what? I've been drinking this juice for about 6 months now, and I feel great. But I know your husband has shoulder pain and back pain and stuff, and everybody's telling these crazy stories about, how well it's working for people with those kind of problems. Do you think you would be a guinea pig for me? And I'm like, sure, we'll drink your juice. So that's exactly how it happened. We started drinking the juice mainly for my husband, and his first reaction was his, great results for his sleep apnea. He started sleeping better. And then, he had a lot of joint pain relief in his shoulder and his back. He went from taking 4 ibuprofen every 4 hours for that pain to not really reaching for any at all in just a couple weeks. So it was phenomenal. He was feeling great, and we thought, wow, if we're feeling that good, we got to give this to our kids. And that started our journey.
Awesome. So, and I remember, you were in for a while before you and I even met. And what was it that what was the turning point for you to really take charge and go after the business?
Well, in case anybody's head's been in the sand for the past 3 or 4 years, real estate's been one of those markets that's kind of up and down. And here in this area, we, really took some dives here as far as, employment and just people being able to even purchase homes around here. So, the market kind of stalled out. We were working twice as hard to make less money. So I needed something to supplement our income. And I said to my husband, I think we should really dig into this Monavie business and just research it a little bit more and meet some of the people and really dive into this because we love the product. If we feel this great, everybody else is going to too, and we probably ought to, take a closer look. And so that's what we started doing. We went to a few meetings up in Cleveland with Carl and Kathy Firestone. They hosted some meetings. My very first meeting, though, I drove to Cincinnati, 5 hours away, took one of my friends with me and stayed overnight and got to see Grayson Mall and all kinds of great people down there. I was just floored by just the community, and it just drew me right in. It was the kind of community of people that I just really wanted to be a part of, and from then on, I've been hooked.
Awesome. So tell me, what have you been seeing recently, and what's going on in your business with working the system, using the scanner, what kind of tips or what can you share that's been going on with that? We just got the GPS book not too long ago. Tell me, are you finding success with that? Share a little bit. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, awesome. Well, some of the things just recently that I've really had to reflect on, and it's kind of like I wanted to smack myself. I've been in customer service and sales for in a few different industries for the last 15 to 20 years here, and I just started thinking about, the people that we bring on as customers. I had preferred customers before, and they would sign up, and I really just didn't pay that much attention to them. And I'm going to encourage you guys to not do that. So I've started to do something a little bit different, and I've started to just set up reminders to myself to reach out to, because sometimes if they're not building the business and they're not calling you about, oh, I have this, or can you do a 3-way call with me, or I'm coming to the meeting and that sort of thing, sometimes you can forget about your customers who are out there and they're drinking the juice and they're having success on it. And they've got to get into a follow-up system with you. And so one specific person I have in mind, they actually saw my van in Office Max parking lot, and they had drank juice 3 years ago, and they had been reaching out trying to find somebody around here that was, in Monavie, and saw my van. I connected. They called me, and I connected with them. They came over, and I scanned them, and they decided, you know what, we were distributors before. We drank it for a while. We just want to be customers. We just want to get healthy again. So I signed them up as customers and said, wow, well, how about, I just check in on you. I want to see your story. I would love to hear how this, impacts your health. And I followed up with them a couple times, and this last time I said, hey, you know what? I said, did you have any other friends and family that were drinking the juice before? And they said, well, yeah. And I said, I would love to do a private scanning party at your house then. Why don't I come over? Get them back over. Tell them we've got this cool scanner now, and we want to see where they're at health-wise and talk to them about what's going on. And they said, we were going to call you about that because we really have been talking to some of our friends and family again now that you've done the scan. And so I'm just going to encourage you guys, if you haven't been doing that, or maybe you don't have many preferred customers, sign people up, guys. Get them drinking this product, and then do a follow-up. Make sure you're engaging with them and building that relationship with them, and offering to basically do the work for them. Hey, I'll come over. We'll set it up. We'll invite people. I'll help you call them. All you have to do is get me a list of people, and it's really not a huge commitment for them saying they're going to build a huge business, but they're definitely going to let you help share that product to some of their close friends and family, and that is where the ball starts rolling. So that's one thing that I definitely have started doing differently recently, and it's that the View Scanner is a great tool to say we can set up a private scanning party. So that's been working out great. The other thing I think I wanted to touch on is, I don't know about you guys, but I hear the objection of, I have a lot of irons in the fire. I don't have a lot of time right now. And I know you guys all hear it because we hear all the leaders talk about it too when we're at the events about not having enough time. And that's what we're trying to give people, is more time. And so I just wanted to encourage you to explore that a little bit further with them, and don't take that as a no, but take that as they don't understand yet how it can give them back time. Maybe you haven't explored deep enough what's their why. Why would it be important to shift some of their time from what they're doing now to these activities? And just wanted to give you a couple questions that I've been using that are helping me dig a little bit deeper with people on their time and their schedule. I actually get out a piece of paper with them and just say, hey, do me a quick favor, because whether it's this, or whether it's Monavie, or whether it's something else, you're going to have to probably dedicate some time to something different to earn extra money, right, to pay off that debt, right? So whether it's Monavie or something else, you're going to have to do this. So this is going to be a good exercise, whether you choose Monavie or something else. So let's get out a piece of paper, and why don't you just tell me, what does your schedule look like in the evening? You know, after 5 o'clock when you get off work, what's your schedule look like? Monday, through Saturday. Just tell me a little bit about your schedule. And because I've been doing this for a while, I might have some pointers for you of how you can fit something else in so you can earn money and pay off that debt that you told me you want to pay off. And then you just, I just outline it for them, and I say, well, it looks like you're bowling 3 nights a week. If you continue bowling 3 nights a week, are you going to be able to pay off your debt? No. Is it possible then that you take 2 of those nights and shift those to working on an opportunity that's going to pay off your debt? And it's just a matter of taking them through the black and white, making them write that schedule down. And I just did this yesterday, and it was like a light bulb went off in their head because they got to see their schedule in black and white. It's like people are doing when they get to see their score in black and white. Something happens when that visual takes place that is different when they're thinking of it conceptually about their time. So just encouraging you to really don't take that as a no and say, oh, yeah, I know, you're busy. Well, we're all busy, but we all have the same 24 hours, and it's always a choice of how we spend our time. So just encourage them to explore it a little bit more. And so those are a couple things that have just recently been helping me in my business. I hope that gives a little insight to you guys.
Oh, I like that. When I got started in Monavie, I'm this ready, fire, aim type guy, and I just kind of went for it and went crazy, and it just worked for me for a minute. But you know what? I mean, you're just reminding me of things I learned during my Kiyosaki days, and that is that, you know, people learn and process so many different ways. And so it just makes me think there might be some people out there that are you know, might have somebody new in or whatnot, and might be a little frustrated with things, and that might be an approach you need to take. Where me, it was like, hey, build a list, have some meetings, and let's go. And I was like, okay, there's other people that, like Paula just said, the light bulb went off, and they just kind of got it. I like that. Paula, you know what else I want you to share is, and I just thought of it now, you've had some success on Facebook, haven't you, with connecting with people?
I have. And
maybe you could share just kind of somewhat of what how you've had that success, and give some people some tips, because I see people doing all kind of things on Facebook, and I think it'd be great if, actually, now that I think about it, on each one of these calls, I want to start sharing some social media success stories so that people can get a better idea of what they could be doing to you know, do the same thing we do offline but online. So go ahead, Paula, share a little bit about that.
Okay, great. Well, Facebook is a great way to reconnect with a lot of people, especially if you've got class reunions coming up and various things. Everybody's searching for people, and everybody's excited to get back together. So it's a great time to get back in touch with a bunch of people that you haven't seen in a long time. But it's not so much that you want to blast them out a, hey, come join my Monavie team. What you really want to do is you want to do the same thing as you would do if you were in front of a person that maybe you went to high school with, maybe you went to college with, that you ran into at Walmart or a restaurant. You want to use what's in the GPS book, and it talks about using you know, simple ways to start a conversation. And that's on page 27 of the GPS book. And then it takes you through the form technique, which is talking about people's family, their occupation, recreation, and through that you're going to uncover their motive of maybe why they might need an opportunity like this or want an opportunity like this. So it's the same thing as if you're in front of me, but if you see somebody on Facebook that's online and you haven't really connected too much, you're friends on there but you don't really connect too much, you just want to reach out to them. Go on their page, see what's going on in their life, comment on it. Hey, I saw that great picture of your daughter. How old is she now? Get them talking about their family. And I just did this with a friend from California, and she graduated a year ahead of me, and we just reconnected. And I said, hey, well, how do you like California? And where were you between, Ohio and California? And she was telling me about her life, and she said, well, we're probably going to have to move to Texas in 2 years. And I said, well, what for? And she said, probably the final stop of my husband's job. Great, what does he do? And it just led, it's a general conversation you're probably having every day with people. It's just in that you're really focusing on listening, but you're doing it through chat, maybe on Facebook. But the great thing is, guys, is that, or the piece that you always want to remember, and you get a feel just like when you're in front of somebody, is it the time to actually bring it up and take it to a step where you want to set a time to specifically talk about this? And you kind of got to warm some people up, people maybe you never were that close with anyways. You don't want to just jump down their throat with Monavie the first time you start chatting with them. You want to get to know them a little bit better, and remember, this is one of those businesses where we get to choose who we're in business with too. And a lot happens in 20 years, so you want to make sure you're getting in business with people or offering this to people that you really want. So I uncover all kinds of things, though. My father, just got on cholesterol medication, so I've been talking to him about that. And wow, and she brought it up. She said, wow, it looks like you have a pretty exciting business. How is that going? Just from her looking at my page. And then that opened the door. And but I didn't go on and on about the business in the chat. I said, you know what, it sounds like you and I have a lot in common. You appreciate health. You have some family members you mentioned that could really use some of what I got. I would love to actually just explore some of that with you offline. Can we set a time to call each other? that works in your schedule. And then we set a one-on-one over the phone. So that's how I'm using Facebook, is just as if I ran into them at the store. And I'm using the same techniques that are in your GPS, guys. It's right on page 28, using that form technique and a simple way to start conversations. And, hey, if all else fails, and you're just like, I'm going to say something to somebody today, or I have to contact somebody, the best thing you can say to someone, and the easiest thing, is what my friend Mike Bonomo from Illinois has been saying to people is, oh my gosh, you seem like a really successful business person, or it looks like you have a lot of experience in customer service, and I have this new technology, and I'm looking to get opinions from people like you. Because you're kind of like our customer base, but not that I want you to do anything except for give me your opinion. If you and I were to get together, would you give me your honest opinion of this technology? And if all else fails, that's what you can say to people. I mean, or just call business professionals and say that. So you can do that I've done that on Facebook too, is just reached out to business professionals and said that exact same thing and booked appointments that way too. So it's just like a phone, except for you're on Facebook chat or sending them a LinkedIn message or something like that. So
awesome.
It's a great way to connect.
All right, thank you, Paula. And last thing, we got this meeting coming up here on Tuesday. What can you tell people about your experience with going to an open meeting or a BBS? What do you say? I mean, they need to get there, right?
Absolutely. I can tell you just a real quick story about my husband. For about 8 months, 6 to 8 months after I said, you know what, we really ought to do this business, he just was not into it. He's like, he tells me, I'm going to be the next Corbin Roush, standing up there next to you and apologizing for not, jumping in and doing this business with you right away. And he said, so I said, listen, if you just come to Cleveland with me, I want to introduce you to Steve Merritt. I go, you just got to come and just meet some of these people. I'm hanging out with all these people without you. You probably ought to meet them. So that was the way I got him up there. And, he very much enjoyed Steve. He very much enjoyed the speakers and what they said that day. But the one thing that happened is he made a connection just chatting with people before, and he ran into another teacher, and the teacher had driven 4 hours to come up there, and he said, yeah, I got into Monavie when I was a substitute teacher because I couldn't find a job. And he goes, and then I got all these other substitute teachers into the business, and before I knew it, it really took off. And then the meeting started, so they sat down, but when they did pin recognition, the guy stood up as a blue diamond. And my husband's jaw dropped, and he goes, oh, my God, how much does a blue diamond make? And I showed him on the income disclosure, and he says, holy cow, he's only 26 years old. I was just talking to him. And so, or 27 years old, or he was young. He was a lot younger than us. And so, anyways, those are the kind of aha moments that can happen when you get to the meeting. And every time I've been around Steve and Gina and Carl and Kathy, and every time they say something, I come away with an aha moment, a little nugget that I go, oh, that's kind of what I was missing. So I would encourage you guys, get there and get your people, your spouses, your family, anyone who might even be dragging you down a little bit or not quite supporting you in the way you want. Just drag them there, bribe them, get them there any way you can, just so their eyes can be open to what we've really got our hands on here.
Awesome. Well, Paula, thank you so much for coming on the call and speaking to us tonight. I really appreciate you.
My pleasure, guys. Love you all.
Okay, guys, listen, I'm going to have on next with us, we're going to have Walter Noot, the Chief Operating Officer of Monavie, on with us. And I got a few questions for you, Walter. Are you there?
I'm here. I hope I can answer the questions the right way without freaking all you guys out.
That's okay, Walter. No problem. Just like with Paula, I just want to hear real quick, what were you doing right before Monavie fell in your lap or before you got involved with Monavie? Tell us a little bit of your story of what was going on just before Monavie.
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, just before, are you talking about the last few years?
Yeah. What kind of work or what were you doing just before you got involved with Monavie?
Well, it's kind of a long. I'll give you a 1-minute story. I worked with Monavie starting in 2007 on the software, which there was a company called ZenSoft. I was the president of the company, and we built the back-end system for Monavie, which is like VO and the whole back-end side of it. And so that's kind of how I got to know the company. And then I left ZenSoft, and I started doing a bunch of technology companies, consulting and things like that. And at the same time was helping Monavie with this scanner project because it was something new that was happening, and they needed somebody to help kind of drive the software side of it. and so that went on for probably a year and a half or so. At the same time, I joined a company called Deductor. I was the CEO there, and I couldn't let go. It was, these poor guys. I started working there, but I just kept saying, okay, look, I know that I'm the CEO of the company and all that, but there's this Monavie thing, and I'm not really done with it yet, and I really want to finish this project because I want to make sure that these guys get this thing off the ground. And so I did that for another 6 months, and then Monavie asked me to be the COO, and then I went back to these. I just feel really bad because I went back to these guys and said, you know what, I'm gonna go work with Monavie. It sounds like I'm really flaky. I'm actually not that flaky, and they're still good friends and all that, but that's what I was doing.
Awesome. So you're doing a lot with the back end of the scanner or the actual scanner itself?
Well, everything. Right now, you mean, or back then? Yeah, I've been working on it all: hardware, software, back end, front end, everything. So yeah, I'm pretty aware of the scanner, pretty familiar with it.
Awesome. So, I've heard rumors of, like the quick scans and the life scans that will be getting, different kind of upgrades to the emails. I don't know how true that is. Will there be changes in that kind of part? I'm a techie guy, so I'm real interested in that part where we scan the person, get their information, they get an email. Is there any changes or anything coming to that in the near future?
Yeah, the thing is, we launched the thing in Orlando, and we wanted to make sure that everything was working. There's still bugs. I mean, that's software. There's always a bug, but we wanted to add we really wanted to add some functionality from the beginning, and we didn't have all of that in there in Orlando, which was hugely disappointing for me. And so we've been pushing. We've got an outside developer team that's been helping us with the app side of it. And so what I really wanted to do was add some cool things to the app side. One of the things we didn't do yet was we haven't put the app in the Apple Store, at least on the iOS. And that's been a very important thing for us to do, because once that's on Apple, once it's in the App Store, then you can just grab this free app, and then it'll just download, update and download periodically. So there are a couple of things we want to change and update on the scanner. One of the things is we can do some things on the hardware of the scanner. We can do that. We can upgrade the software that's ingrained in the scanner, which is called firmware. We can update the firmware via Bluetooth, which is one of the functionalities we built in before we launched it, because we knew that in the field we might want to do that. So there's some of that stuff going on in the near future. But then there's some other things that are going to be added. I'll give you a couple of examples. One of the things is, which you're going to be here. If everybody was like vocal right now, we could hear everybody online, they'd all be like all happy about this. We're going to be doing quick scans off. We're going to allow you to do quick scans offline, so individual quick scans offline, which completely makes sense. I mean, that's something that the quick scan is something that we can, a lot of people are using for an introduction. And if you're sitting somewhere that doesn't have Wi-Fi and you're only connected via Wi-Fi, you don't have a phone-type connection, then it's pretty frustrating, because now you can't do a quick scan. You got to go find a place, and you miss an opportunity. So that's one of the things we're doing. Another thing about the individual quick scans is we're going to be asking some information from the individual quick scan. So name, email address, phone number. The reason we want to do that is because we want to make this, as everybody well knows, what an incredible opportunity when you scan somebody the first time. You do a quick scan. And you scan them and they're orange or black. Oh, there's no such thing, but let's say their score is really, really bad. Then you want to follow up with that person, because I guarantee you, I'm 100% confident that that person is thinking about that score later, especially if it's a low score. They're laying there at night thinking, holy moly, what the heck? My score was, really low. What does that mean? What does that really mean? And they're thinking about this, and they're thinking, man, maybe I should eat more fruits and vegetables. Maybe I should be more healthy. Maybe I should, whatever. And that's a person that you need to follow up with. That's somebody you should call back, and you should talk to them and say, you know what, I've been thinking about this red score that we had. When I saw your score, I was shocked, and I've been thinking about it, and I've been concerned about it. I'm just wondering, if we can talk about this, if we can sit down and I can show you some ways to actually bring your score up. And that's the opportunity to follow up. And because we haven't built that into the app right now, people are doing it manually, which you should do. But we want to build systems around that. So there's systems coming out. We just submitted it to Apple again this morning. Hopefully they're going to accept it and say, yeah, that's great. But we've got a different classification for an app. It's called Made for iPhone, which is MFI. So there's a higher classification because we're tying an app to an actual physical device that's been approved by Apple. So they put it through a lot more scrutiny than they would normally with a regular app. And so we've been going back and forth with these guys. And then, of course, we've been doing a lot of updates. So that's one thing we're doing with it. But there are a lot more things that are coming in this first iteration of the update.
Oh, that's exciting. I mean, that's really exciting to hear, because I know, like for me, okay, thanks, sweetie. Sorry, my 4-year-old just came in here. So, for me, I know that's really exciting, because I can totally see where that's going to be a benefit to everybody. I mean, I was on the plane after I first got my scanner, and I was like, oh, no, I can't scan. I can't get a Wi-Fi. So I'm really excited to hear that. And how about for the data that you guys are you looking at the data? Is that at all part of your job? Are you like seeing these scans across the North America, and what do you think about it?
I don't know what my job is these days. There's so much stuff that I'm trying to do every day. I literally run from one meeting to the next, and I go in there and I walk in, I sit down, and I go, okay, now what is this meeting about? It just looks like, this is your meeting. This is your meeting. There's like 10 people. This is your meeting, you dummy, Yeah. So anyway, that's part of my job. But so I actually have my own dashboard that's different. So there's an online dashboard. If you go on Monavie.com and then push View, and then if you do that, there's at the very bottom of that page on the left side, the lowest menu item says GPS map, I think, or something like that.
Right.
And I don't know if you've seen it. It was kind of like a crazy invention I had, but I just thought it'd be cool to show all the scans going on, so you can see literally what the activity is. And I've been at these. I went the last 3 weeks. Every weekend, I've been at some meeting somewhere in the U.S. And so last week I was in Portland. The week before that I was in Jersey, and the week before that I was in Chicago. And I don't know where I was in the week before that. It's all a big blur. But in any case, it's fun to zoom into their city and go, what the heck? What are you guys doing? You could be doing so much better. But it's really kind of cool, because I go in and I look at the individual scans. I'm really interested to see the patterns. Like, how is somebody using this thing? What is their success ratio? I love ratios and numbers, and I'm really interested in what is the pattern that somebody uses. I'll give you a bizarre example. There was one, I won't say where they are because maybe they're on the call, and this person will be like, I can't believe you just talked about me. But there was somebody in, let's say, some state in the U.S., and it was some obscure place, and I have a map, my own map, that I actually literally can zoom into the house. I can see what's going on, like how many scans they're doing, how many quick scans they're doing. I know who's doing the scans, what time they're doing, because I'm interested to see what those patterns are. And this person they scanned at their house the first day. 2 days later, they went to their neighbor's house and did a scan. And 5 days later, they went to the other neighbor's house and did a scan. And then that was it. That was it, And I thought, oh my gosh, what the heck? You're not using this thing the way you could be. And in fact, going to the neighbor's houses, I think, is good. But there's so much more that you can do. Why don't you just take the thing to work? And I could tell, this was literally out in the middle of nowhere. So I could tell this person either had to work there, or they were like an Eskimo and rode a snowmobile somewhere else. But this person wasn't doing a lot of scans and was really kind of limiting themselves with this really cool thing that's just like I was talking to Ken Porter the other day, the day before, I think yesterday, and we were sitting in a meeting, and Ken kept saying, you know, this is the best introduction device that you could imagine for this business. I mean, how much better and how much easier is it to walk around with this thing? You should be walking around everywhere with this thing. You should, you know, you sit down at a restaurant, you should sit it down. And I can tell you from my own experiences that, you know, like, I mean, and I keep saying this to everybody, but it happens literally every time I go through an airport. I go through an airport, and because I have to go through security, I just pull that dang thing out because they're going to torment me about it because it has this medical optical block, and I think it's some alien thing. And so I pull it out, and I put it in the tray, and it's always sitting out. So as soon as it goes through the X-ray, they pull over a few other guys. They start looking at it, and they pull it out. There's like a little place just before it goes through. They pull the scanner out, and they're all looking at it, and they're talking about it. And then pretty soon they'll walk over to me, and I know exactly what they're going to say. They go, "What is this thing? You know, what the heck is this thing?" So I go, "Well, it's kind of like it's an antioxidant reader. That's what it is. It's like it's a device. So I show them this is the lens. I turn it on. I show them there's light in there, and then they go, "Really? Like it scans your antioxidants?" I go, "Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then it's like groupie time. You know, they're following me around. They're like asking me, "What? You know, can I get scanned with? Like, how does it work? Show me." You know, and they're just walking around tormenting me. These guys, and they've got work to do. And I don't know, maybe TSA doesn't have enough work to do, but and these guys are interested. And I think that, you know, wherever you go, if you've got that thing in front of you, if you've got that thing with you, people are going to wonder what the heck it is. And that is an introduction moment to show them their score because they should know what their score is. And if they know what their score is, then you should teach them how to change that score, how to improve that score. And that is the opportunity. That if you take advantage of it, you can get it. There's a guy I met in Portland on, I don't know, a few days ago, on Friday. What was it? Saturday. And he when he went to Orlando, what he said was he went there. I think he got a scanner there, or he got one just after. He had really not been enrolling anybody. Kind of not doing the business. He had another business on the side. Well, not on the side. It was his main job. It was like some health, some fitness business or something like that. And he said, "Man, I don't know exactly what he was doing, but he scanned somebody, and it was like he got interest, and then he scanned into somebody else, and he got interest, and he was like, wow, this is working." And he told me he signed up 30 people since Orlando. And I was going, wow, what's your secret? And I said, did you change a lot since, you know, from before what you were doing before? And the answer was really, no, I haven't really changed a lot of things. I've just been doing a lot of scanning and telling people about how important the product is for them, what they need to be doing. And just like was mentioned earlier today, we're getting a ton of preferred customers all of a sudden. And it's probably not because it's maybe the most motivational thing in the world, you know, because you say, wow, man, I really want them as a distributor. This is what I've been taught. But I got to tell you, there are a lot of people out there that once they understand what the product is, you know, this might not be their gig right now. They might look at this and say, you know, that's really not my thing right now. I'm not really that interested. But what I am interested in is I'm interested in my health. I'm interested in my kids' health and my husband's health. And you know what? Yeah, I'll give that a try. That makes sense. That's something that I can do. I'm willing to do that. And they'll make that, you know, they'll take that chance and they'll try that product. And if they try the product and they take that chance, man, what a great warm lead you've got there. Rather than just saying, you know what, you know, if you're not interested in being a distributor right now, then, you know, forget it. You know, we're not interested in you. I don't think that's the right approach. I think there are opportunities to be able to take the people that today, that in the past, you would have said this really doesn't make sense. Maybe this is something that, I won't take somebody like that. But today, things are a little different. And I would suggest that, the people that are having success, they're doing a little bit of both. They're signing up some preferred customers and they're signing up distributors, and they're getting good commitments. They're getting good, solid people in the business. And these people they're not just, there is this, in the past we've always used the drink it, feel it, share it and all that. And there is there's a feeling that you get when you drink the product because it's a great product. I mean, we have a very high-quality product. I know that because I'm also in charge of manufacturing, and the formulation team reports to me, and all those guys. And so I know what goes in this product. I mean, I see it every single day. I know how much we pay on the raw materials, and it's an incredible product. It's a great product, and I'm very, very proud of it. I'm proud of the juice. I'm proud of the powder that we have, the Reveal powder. There's literally, those products. There's no better product out there. EMV. If you look at the categories of those products, those three products, there is no product in that category anywhere in any market that you can get that's better quality than those. Now, of course, quality is subjective, right? I mean, you could say, well, that's good enough for me, and I'm sure there are products that meet somebody's personal standards. But as far as getting the antioxidant levels that you need, and with the amount of fruits and vegetables that are in those products, and just if you just really look and break down the antioxidants, having the right amount of flavonoids and carotenoids, and just functionally how those products work, like Reveal being I was just looking today how they were showing me how much we're paying for just fruit in Reveal. It's kind of ludicrous, actually. I was like, what? I didn't realize it. And it's just we just put a lot of money into this stuff because we want to do something right. It's a premium, and when people try them, they're going to get hooked on them. They're going to like them.
Awesome. I think it's just really great for us to hear. I think sometimes, some of what's going on the corporate side, just from your comment of, I can't believe how much they're paying for fruit and different things that you get to see in your position. And really appreciate you coming on and sharing with us tonight. And I'm really excited to look for the app in the Apple Store and the future upgrades that are coming. So, hey, Walter, Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on the call.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen, I'm going to have next on the call we have Angela Bruer-Balouch. And, we've been friends since, I think, last year sometime when we got to go on some of these trips together. And so I'm excited to hear her on the call tonight and hear what she has to say. So, Angela, I know just tell us real quick, Blue Diamond, tell us a little bit about how Monavie found you. What were you doing when Monavie was presented to you first? Welcome to the call.
Hi, Wayne. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me on the call. What was I doing when Monavie found me? When I found Monavie, actually a girlfriend of mine for 3 months sent me emails, probably 4 emails, trying to invite me to a tasting party. Well, at the time of the day, actually, that I went to the tasting party, because she picked up the phone and she called me 3 times and invited me to the event. And I said, okay, fine, but I have to bring my kids because I was going to school full-time. I was living in 2 different cities, 3.5 hours apart. I was going through a divorce, and I was busy. I was busy with life. And it's interesting because that night I went and I listened to Miss Renita Brannon explain the health benefits. There was another nurse there presenting, and probably about 15 of us at the tasting. I sat there with my arms folded. I watched her, and all I could think about was, I want to do what she's doing. And this was in September of 2007. So I knew immediately when I heard the presentation, because I was totally aligned with the convenience of the fruits. My son would not eat his fruits and vegetables. He's funny because he reminds me, Mom, you got involved in Monavie because of me, because he really wouldn't eat his fruits and vegetables. So nutrition was key. And then the second thing, really, I'm going to be honest with you, it was because Monavie is such a philanthropic organization. If we were not giving back to the Amazonians, the indigenous people of Brazil in the rainforest, I probably wouldn't have signed the dotted line, because I felt it was very important. If we're taking these precious berries from their land and using them for our health and riches, we better be giving back. So that's when I got started. I read the Success from Home magazine when I got home that night. I called my boyfriend then at the time, and I said, look, this is the deal. this is it. I read Holly and Corbin's story, and I was pumped because I knew that health and wellness, with actually already having in my hands Paul Zane Pilsner's The Wellness Revolution. So I had that book and was reading that book prior, to Monavie. So it was all just kind of aligning, and knowing that, the society health and is such a degraded system that we need to do something, and Whole Foods is really the answer, in my opinion.
Wow, I had no idea. 3 months. You were invited to a meeting. I actually posted that in our Facebook group. I just can't believe 3 months. I mean, so there you have it. I mean, I think there's people on this call that you should be encouraged. I think you probably gave up after the first time they didn't show up.
Yeah.
So look here, a blue diamond was found after persevering for 3 months.
Yeah,
awesome.
And you know what? I'm just gonna interject here, because that kind of leads me into the GPS book, which at the time we had the map book, which I have that thing ragged. I still have it. And the 10 keys to success. One of them is, number 5 is read 15 minutes per day. And I pulled out my Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich, and I pulled it out because I wanted to read a quote from here. It says, Thomas A. Edison failed 10,000 times before he perfected the incandescent electric light bulb. That is, he met with temporary defeat 10,000 times before his efforts were crowned with success. Now, last night, my iPhone, I plugged it in to back it up, to download some photos, and it went kaput on me. Okay, my iPhone was dead. So literally last night for 4 hours, I was trying to resuscitate my iPhone. Okay, and nothing was working, nothing. And I came from a technical background. I worked in technology for 15-plus years, and it was driving me crazy. And, at the Verizon, I can't go to Apple Store. What am I going to do? Well, guess what? I kept trying, and finally, a sequence of events, my iPhone powered up. I was able to restore it, downloaded my backup from the iCloud, and I'm talking to you on my iPhone today. That right there is a person who has perseverance, who does not give up. So kind of going back to that story of Tanya, who invited me for 3 months and finally made some phone calls to me because I really needed to, she wanted me there. It was timing. It was timing, perseverance, and the fact that you're going to fail. And if you don't fail, then you're not going to have those learning lessons.
So as a blue diamond today, and you're getting someone started new in the business, I got to ask, I mean, are you taking them through this GPS? I mean, are you showing, you said your old one was tattered. It sounds to me like you really see value in the GPS.
I absolutely see value in the GPS. In fact, I ordered 50 of them for our upcoming BBS, which is next weekend here in Fargo, North Dakota on the 6th. We're so blessed to have Mark and Rex Crane and Holly and Corbin Rausch coming. We're just super pumped up about that. We'll have lots of GPSs there. And you know what? I do run through it with them. I usually do the initiate first, and then I kind of assess whether or not they really want to take things to the next level. And periodically we'll send tidbits to my team from the GPS book. And, it is such a valuable tool. And even, I just love the tools and the leadership from the lifelong learning and the MVP system, because everything that we have, really, you can slap any other type of business on it, and whatever you're doing, whether you're in real estate, like Peggy or what have you, you can really apply everything that we're learning. And I love it because it's so truthful, it's so honest, it's so pure. It's so just incredibly high quality material that if you take this, I could give this to my children, and when they start their job or what have you, how to be successful, how to identify other leaders. It's $3.99. $3.99. Your guide to personal success for $3.99. Come on.
I love it. I love how you said you put them through the initiate first. And that's the way that you see whether, to almost, get them into the map book after that. that pretty much weeds them out and lets you know their level of seriousness, right?
Yeah, it's on page 46, how to identify a leader. So we do know that when we bring people into the business, some of them we know that, here, I'm ready, I want to start the business. Here's the thing, when, not everybody, I look at it, when I finally was in front of the opportunity, the next day I was on the phone, I was ordering business cards, I was getting literature, I was getting stuff, because I knew, I was so convicted that this is it, this is what I want to do. And let's face it, not everybody has that immediate spark. Sometimes I call it a baking process or a learning process. But obviously you want to get to them right away in the early stages of the game. One of the most valuable tools that I use, I'll tell you, is I tell people to go to Monavie on the Move. And I say, you know what, and this is prior to them being a distributor or in the business, I'll say, go to Monavie on the Move, and I want you to look around, and I want you to see our community. I want you to read. I want you to watch the videos. I want you to see if this is something that you want to be a part of. And I think that's one of the reasons why I have such in-depth, consistent growth and sustainability, because I've built that foundation with people who are in it for the long haul. They're in it for their health first. They're in it for the wealth and the opportunity of blessing and sharing it with other people. So if you're on this call and you are just looking to get rich quick, you're on the wrong phone call. You need to have the conviction and the why of doing this for your health and for your family first, and the rest just follows. So the best thing ever is when I sign up a distributor and they call me the next day and they say, where do I order business cards? Because they're serious, right? Right, Wayne?
Yeah. Yeah.
When they're asking about sales tools and business tools, and they know what they're doing. But let's face it, not everybody is a business person. Not everybody has gone through that management training or the Business 101. So a lot of the times, unless they've done network marketing or direct sales companies prior, some people don't know where to get started. So that's where it's every person, every situation is a little different, and that's when, if you don't have that experience when you're bringing someone into the business, because I just had a gal over today, came and got her BBS ticket, and she's like, wow, I'm still just not comfortable sharing, the reveal because I'm not 100% sure about how to talk about it. I said, guess what? You don't have to, Lori. All you have to do, did you watch Dr. Sean on Monday night? Are you kidding me? I am never, ever going to explain reveal again, because push play in 12 minutes, he tells you the ins and outs of the whole reveal system just as beautifully as Mark does. So we've got Mark and we've got Sean. It says in another page of the GPS, duplicate yourself. Well, duplicate yourself, push play. And Wayne, you've taught me that as well, that, we need to let these tools do the talking. And I am just as guilty, because it took me 1 year before I could do a home tasting, before I could get up and speak to do a home tasting, because I was terrified to speak in front of people.
Oh.
Can you imagine that? So, yeah. So
no, I can't imagine that.
And now you can't shut me up.
Right. Well, tell us real quick. Tell us about the view. What's going on with the view out there in North Dakota? How's the view working out for you? Give us some tips and strategies or things you're coming across.
Love the view. I have it in my purse. I have a giant purse, and I have it in there, and I take it everywhere I go. First thing is, never leave home without your view charged. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. It's phenomenal. I know I've scanned over 500 plus people. I do a lot of different events. I was just at an event Wednesday, was it yesterday morning? We scanned over 70 people. We had one blue. He was happily loving his fruits and vegetables, and the rest were, of course, the red, orange, and yellow. The view machine is working great for us, but the view machine only works, the scanner works when we do, right? So it's getting in front of people, like Walter said, bringing it out. Sometimes I'll take it out and I'll just fiddle with it, and just to see if somebody asks me, what is that? I do carry it with me. I don't do random scans, but what I like to do is I like to organize functions. We had a fundraiser a couple weeks ago that was just phenomenal. Some of you may have seen the postings on Facebook, but I went out and I bought green, blue, and purple wigs, and we had these faux mustaches the same colors as our wigs. And we raised several $100s for the prostate, Rose on Broadway prostate cancer. So using it for fundraising activities is phenomenal as well. You know, it's completely, you know, free to the organization, and it's a way for you to get out there and educate people. So, but I heard a lot of great tips from Walter and from Peggy on different things that I'm going to use, you know, as far as, you know, following up with the individuals. Because I think we do a lot of quick scans, but then where's that follow-up, you know, being proactive about setting up those one-on-ones and really doing them due justice because, okay, I got a score, now what? So
right.
It's working great. We love it, and, you know, we're just getting started. We haven't even had it, you know, one full month, essentially. So,
Carl Firestone Diamond from Cleveland says, it's time to get a giant purse in the Facebook group.
That'd be a mirth.
Paula says, yeah, baby, thanks, Angela, for a reason to go shop.
I love it.
Angela, just give us, if you can close out and just give us a tip, you know, to the new distributor. You said it took a year for you to feel comfortable to get up and stand in front of people. So what do you have to say to a new person who's just getting started today with your experience? But what's one of the most valuable tips you can give them that keeps them in for the long haul?
Believe in yourself. Believe in this company. Believe in the products. You know, don't quit your day job. This is something that you can do so easily every single day, no matter where you're at. Busy is not an excuse. Busy is actually, if you're busy, great. You have more opportunities to share this with other people. Never give up on your dreams. Keep visioning. Surrender to what is to be, and just know that, you know, you have your hands. We have our hands on a phenomenal technology, but keep in mind, you know, when Blue Diamond before the scanner, you know, you don't have to have the scanner, but it's definitely a valuable tool. And I would, if you want to treat this as a business, you have the tools in your toolbox. So the scanner is one of them. So that's a couple different things all thrown into one. But you know, don't be afraid of failing. We've got a really sharp couple on our team. I think they're going to be winning a lot of stuff in the next couple of weeks here, and you'll hear more about Lindsay and Jake. I met these two about 3 years ago, and just a dynamite couple. And I tell her story all the time. She was a bartender from Roseau, 23 years old. She signed up 25 people 2 weeks before Christmas. Okay?
Wow.
25 people 2 weeks before Christmas. And she knew nothing about it. So don't think you have to know everything. So if you're a new person on this call, don't think you have to know everything. Share the videos. Let Mark, let your upline, let the tools do the talking, and plug into the lifelong learning. These books are invaluable. You can pass them on to your children, to your neighbors and friends. And I wish everyone a blessed Easter, and thanks so much for having me on the call.
Oh, Angela, thank you so much for sharing. And guys, get out to North Dakota, Fargo next weekend. It's Rex Crane, Mark McDonald. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
You don't even have to fly out to that one. I mean, these are some big hitters, guys. So make sure you get out to that BVS.
Please do.
Awesome.
Please do.
Thanks, Angela.
Thanks so much, Wayne. Take care.
Have a good night and have a happy Easter. All right, guys, listen, to finish up the call, we're going to bring on Steve and Gina Merritt. Are you guys there?
Wayne, how you doing? Steve Merritt here.
Great. Steve, how you doing? Crown Black Diamonds, good friends of ours. Hey, Steve, what do you got to say, buddy?
I've just been enjoying listening to this call. And, again, like Paula and Angela has been teaching everyone here. And, of course, Walter Noot let you know that, the company is not stopping. They're always improving, and that's why you want to keep running and making things happen on a daily basis. And you can see the gals, they're basically just telling you that they're as I was listening to them, and Angela then at the very end said that she was very shy and couldn't talk to people. I mean, that's why we have a support system. Think about this. If we didn't have our MVP system and some training tools to help her, even this conference call, things that people can plug into to start hearing that the same type things are going through other people's minds that have succeeded before them. They can plug into the lifelong. You can't help but listen to Matt Curtis, Renita, and Scott. We just got them last month. Ken Porter, Mike and Sai Hernandez. And we updated everybody on the MVP tools, Lance and I. So you want to start learning your tools as well. If you want to get somebody in the business that you've been talking to, every one of these folks that you've heard, look at Angela. She had to get invited how many times? They made 12 phone calls to me, and I signed up and did nothing for 90 days. So everyone is going to tell you they're not interested. That's got to go over your head, and you've got to find out, like Paula did such a great job. And I'm telling you, Paula's going to be one of the next folks on one of the next CDs, because she's getting it, she's understanding it, she's talking to the people, say, understand, where are you going to go doing what you're doing? You do have some goals and dreams. You really need to just take your time with people that you would like to have on your team, not just with everybody. I actually enjoyed what Angela was saying, going around, when she does these scans and everything. It's a great opportunity for you to meet new people, and you can collect the cards of people that you'd like to talk to about the product. If you see that they're interested, say, man, I really am upset that I'm a red or an orange or a yellow. Well, then you can collect their card, and you can say, hey, I'd like to get back to you, and we can help you. Because, if you're doing one of these big events, you probably can't remember which email was the one that you were talking to. I personally plan my day. I know where I'm going to go see and who I'm going to see from the people I met the day before, the week before, the month before, because I know who I'd like to go have in my business. So a lot of people, it's all right to pull the scanner out and set it on the countertop if you like to, but now you don't know who that person is. You might be able to hit a home run, but I would rather have every night before you go to bed, I'm going to go talk to these 5 people, whether I'm on the phone with them, whether I'm stopping by their office, but we're going to talk to them about this new wellness technology, how we can check people's antioxidant scanner. I love what Matt Curtis is calling it now, the fruit and vegetable lie detector. So if you're going through the airport, Walter, if you're still on the call and somebody says, what is, just say it is a fruit and vegetable lie detector. Then they won't ask you to put their finger in because they know they haven't been eating any fruit and vegetables. So you have a little fun. You can see that we're not all perfect. We're just out there doing it. If you're out there making it happen, you're going to go. They just called me today, as a matter of fact, and said we qualified for the black tie because we have been putting people in on senior kits and helping them get their 2 people. We're working toward having being qualified for the iPhone 5. The mini iPad, just like we're teaching everyone else to do. In between helping all of our friends and traveling to Lisbon last couple weeks ago, where we had we did the seminar and gave away 3 black diamond Mercedes, and everyone said that when we first went to Europe, it'll never work. Just like they said it in Brazil, just like they said it in my hometown, they said it in the Northeast. They probably said it. I'm sure they said it in North Dakota. They told it to my friend Al Huva in Canada and Jan Pripich. It won't work in Canada, but look, it works everywhere where you've got people that have a dream that want something more. And, I'm actually excited about this scanner where about 50% of the people that are getting in nowadays are customers or they're distributors on 1 or 2 cases. That's kind of how I sign them up. I just get them in as a distributor so that they've got a spot in the tree. But point is that not everybody wants to go build a business or change their lifestyle, but because they all want to have better health, it is great to get yourself a bunch of people. If everybody on this call set a goal that in the next 2 weeks I'm going to get 5 new customers, if you did that with everyone on your team and you all held each other accountable, you're going to have your group is going to your business volume will double if you thought about that. And a customer is a matter of just calling up your mom and getting her on the product, calling up your cousin, calling people that you care about, that you know that want to have better health. Somebody in the at the office that wants to have better health, or they're always trying. Use the antioxidant scanner to your use and help make that happen. But understand that things are happening. People are making a move. Monavie has paid out $1.2 billion before the scanner, and they are expecting in half the time to pay out another $1 billion. You're hearing it on the call that people are just going out there, and everyone is wanting to hear about the scanner, and it seems like everyone that's even knew about the juice, because I'm out in the field, and everyone that's heard about the juice or tasted or somebody might have talked to them about it, they really didn't follow up like Paula taught very correctly, and they're all getting in on the product. They're loving it. So it doesn't matter how you get them in. If they want to build it, eventually they're going to build it, because everyone that has a job things are changing out there. It's not like it used to be, and I don't want to go down that route, but everyone knows that. I love how Paula is prepared. You need to be prepared for when somebody says, like when they talked to me, they said, we never heard of Monavie, and we never met anyone that made money in this. And all I said was, I never heard of Monavie. I never met anyone that made money except for one guy who's making some money in Monavie. It's my friend Charlie. He's actually a friend of a friend, and he's making $4,000 a week. And they said, really? And then they were interested to at least listen to me. You need to be prepared when someone says, hey, I don't have any time. Well, great. That's exactly why, like Angela and Paula said, you should be sitting down because guess what? If you don't have any time now, next year you're going to be even busier. What if you had a person like me that has the time to talk to help you get your people? Your only situation is you don't have a way to duplicate yourself. So the way you learn all this is right on the CDs. If you didn't get the March lifelong learning, I'm telling you, if you don't sign your people up that want to succeed, I mean, it is all about personal development, and I love what Angela said. You've got to want to become a better person, and you've got to want to work on your personal development skills. Lance Smith says it perfect on our new More Meaningful Life video where he says, hey, you've got to actually want to learn to be a better person. I mean, this is happening for people. If you're on this call and it's not happening for you, look in your GPS, and on the very back it has a checklist, a 12-point checklist. And what we're doing, again, if you're on my team and you haven't started doing this, you need to get a hold of me or your upline. And if you're someone that has a group, could be just you and your brother or you and your friend. I mean, you've got a group then. Start using this daily checklist and going through it. And we did a training the other night on saying, hey, you know what? You need to work on getting all 12, but at least you're going to, it says on the very bottom, text your upline or your mentor that you're working with to tell them what number you got this day. Because if you're not going through these numbers, you're not going to be able to see the kind of results that you want to get. 6 of them are things like give thanks, listen to an audio, exercise, read 15 minutes. 6 of them are so easy that you got to get 6. If you don't get 6, you're not even you're pretty much classified as a customer. But if you're on this call, I would assume that you'd like this to work. You need to start moving toward doing what the activities that you need to do on a daily basis. You do not have to be good at it. I'm telling you, even now that the scanner come out, I'm messing the scanner up like I messed up the juice. But at least we're doing something, and people that are out there talking to people and making phone calls are going to have the results. So I encourage you, if you don't have your list, make sure you've got your list and you keep adding to it. You're going to have to make phone calls. Bob, I've got this new wellness technology. You've got to see. Are you at home? I got to come by. How hard can that be? Okay? Or you could just say, Bob, I got to come see you. Keep it very simple, but who's not going to want to see something like that? You just have to go there. You take your juice, you drink with them, you scan with them. It's so relaxing. It's not pressure. We want to have your score go up. If you'd like it to, we feel your kids. You go scan them all. If they're all red and yellow, orange or yellow, we all want to have your score go up, and we give you a money-back guarantee. So keep it very simple. And you know what? We take people at however they want to get in. The business builders actually tell you, right, how do I get one of them scanners? They understand this is huge potential. You mean we don't even have these being deployed internationally yet? No. Wait till that happens. So those people will step up to the plate. But you know what? Start by doing like I did. I called my mom and got her on the product. Then I called my cousin. I got him on the product. I didn't call them up and think they were going to go build a big business with me. I just got my friends on the product because I wanted them to have better health for their family. And then they're going to have friends the same way, just like we're talking about. And the business builders are going to come to you, and they're going to find out. If you're serious about building a business, you need to understand the GPS map like Angela was talking about. You need to plan on being at your next BBS. They're already putting together the ones that are coming up in the summer, so keep looking online. Pretty much in the next day or two, you're going to see those coming up. So all of you in Canada got a BBS coming up in Vancouver, Edmonton, and then North Dakota is this weekend. So make sure you get around the environment of people that are making it happen. Do you have one in your town? No. Guess what? It's a $25 ticket. you might want to get on an airplane and fly there to learn how to get this done. That's what people do when they want to learn about real estate, when they want to learn about an occupation or an opportunity. They fly in there, and then you bring it back to your town. I mean, when people do that, they actually have more stake in the game, and then they go make it happen instead of just saying, woe's me, I don't have anything happening here. No, it is happening. When we see that you're serious and you start putting people in like they're talking on this call, then we're going to be coming to your town. It happened to me. I drove 5 hours to my first one. On the way home, my friend Matt and I said, we're not going to go drive back up there again. We're going to build it in our town, and we started having business building seminars in our town. You do the same thing. You could do that. People are looking more than ever. Careers are changing. Occupations are changing. The government is putting stress on every occupation. I mean, I had a delivery at my house today. Gina ordered all these candles because candles are going out of this candle guy is going out of business. I didn't know, but this was the son, and he's like, yeah, we're cutting back. I'm going and doing something else here, but he looked all depressed because business is down, and I'm like, man, you know what? I don't believe in coincidence. Here's what's going on. I showed him the scanner. I'm booked a meeting with him and his wife to get with them, and they're entrepreneur thinkers. They just didn't have a business that was making it happen like they'd like it to. But every day an opportunity is coming across your path, and if you're there ready to take advantage of it, and you got the tools. I had the magazine, showed them, the millionaires. I showed them the scanner. I showed everything is in that. I mean, that is probably what I would be infiltrating your entire city with, the MV365 magazine, and getting the people to listen to those CDs on the back, tell them how interesting. I mean, don't try both. Just try to, if the guy's really intellectual, you might want to get him to listen to Paul Zane Pilzer. You got somebody that likes to have fun, but wants to see how this thing could work. You listen to Corbin and Holly and Mike and Sai. So you get to know the tools and understand you're ready and prepared. As you could tell, these gals are ready and they're on their game as to what tool to use and when, and give yourself some time to win, because I'm telling you, you're going to have to do one of these sooner or later if you want. I love what Paula did. Sooner or later, you got to create a residual income. I don't know when you're going to do it, but wouldn't you rather do it sooner than later? And you need to understand yourself on this call to get your head in the game to be doing the right things, the basics. Make a list, contact, show the plan. You don't have to be long now. This 14-page flip chart is so quick. And if the person just wants to have better health, then just sign them up. Take 7 minutes to sign somebody up. If they just want to have better health, they say, well, I don't want to make any money. Great, no problem. You're going to be one of my customers, or you're going to be a distributor with 1 or 2 cases, and we'll put you in the tree. So when you're ready to start building, you got a spot. Then you follow up with them. We take the scanner over there, drink as much as we can of the bottle, leave the rest of the bottle with the magazine, and follow up the next day, no more than 48 hours. And you got a reason to pick it up. And then we sign them up if we didn't sign them up right then. But after that, you're asking for a referral, or you're going on to your next one because you keep adding to your list of names. So, hey, I encourage every one of you to make sure you're signed up for Salt Lake. It's going to be the last weekend of August, the first last day of August going into the first of September. You go to Monavie.com. I love how Angela said, hey, I take people to Monavie on the move. Get understanding that Monavie is doing everything they can do to put you in the best possible position to win. Like Walter said, this View scanner is the best. There isn't anything that will ever come in this industry in a long, long time as the most hottest contacting magnet you could possibly have in your hands. But like you said, if it's under the couch, if it's under your bed, if it's sitting on the counter in the house, nobody knows that you've got this scanner. So you're going to need to get out and start going through your list and seeing people and calling them, tell them you're coming over. And it's the hottest thing you could possibly – I mean, they spent millions of dollars that you and I would have to spend if we wanted it for the exclusivity for you and myself. And I'm telling you that when I got in, there was no diamonds in Monavie. When I started Monavie, the momentum was just starting to build, just like today. The company now is a $500 million company, and we're a startup with the scanner. That is, if you tell any business person that story, that just get them quivers, right, of excitement. So we're a $500 million company starting this opportunity. When I got in, there was no diamonds, no momentum, no nothing, and we just started making it happen. And once my neighbor, Matt Curtis, went diamond in 70 days, the 50,000-plus people that were signed up before us all got belief, is what somebody said on this call about belief, and everyone made it happen. You're seeing people qualify for the black tie event. It's posted right now. You're seeing people win the mini iPad promotion. You're seeing things happening. You're listening on this call that people are making it happen. Numbers are up. They're doubling every week. You want to be part of this next $1 billion payout. We'd love to have you with us. We're encouraging you to get your head in the game and understand you definitely can get to the people in your upline that are making it happen. Look, we're trying to make you available the best we can, and you can ask your friend who your upline is. We've got a Facebook page, fan page. You can ask us. If you're in the upline of Angela, we'll send you over to her, or Wayne, send you over to him. I mean, we want everyone wants to help each other make this thing happen, but you're going to have to want to help yourself, because our upline showed us what to do. This call right here is enough for you to be making $1,000 a week with what you just heard on this call. So our upline did that. They came and showed us what to do, but then it was up to us to build the business. They didn't come and hold our hand and take the scanner with us. And at that time, we just had the juice. But they didn't hold our hand to do this. You don't need your hand held. You're very successful at what you're doing. You need to just start going, making it happen. And then if you got questions, you learn as you go. That's how we put the business together. Somebody is going to do it. You can hear on this call that they're already doing it. Make that you, and make your family get free, so that you can join us on all these free trips that we're going on around the world. Hope you have a great rest of the evening. Have a wonderful Easter, and we'll be talking to you next Thursday. All right, Wayne. Hey, appreciate you, Wayne. All the work you do to put this call together, and you do a fantastic job. And people are really being blessed by the call.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Thank you so much, buddy. Listen, as we do, thank you so much for coming on the call. And guys, I mean, wow.
By the way, I wanted to say, everybody, while you're on this call, that Gina is actually in Jacksonville. I'm meeting her and my daughter Mia, taking the kids up there tomorrow. But my daughter is a fashion designer. This is great because of the business, we were able to afford to pay for her school, afford to pay for the material that she needs to build these dresses and I don't know all the lingo, but she sews them, she designs them. But first of all, our kids watched us. They watched me sweat, talk to somebody about the opportunity. They saw us in our house, put the chairs up, and nobody came. And then Matt not knowing what to say, and then me sweating. They watched us struggle to succeed. Your kids are watching you, and we were able to afford to get her the right education. So now she was on TV today, and Gina was there with all her models promoting the Jacksonville Fashion Week and her line of clothing that's going to be there. So Gina's with her. That's exciting for everyone on this call. I mean, you don't want to have to only be on these conference calls for the rest of your life. You want to go and get this thing done. Get a sense of urgency to get it done, so you can go hang out and do these kind of things with your kids and have the freedom and the money that you can go and spend time and help them go for their dreams. So I thought that was really neat that you needed to hear on this call, and appreciate you, Wayne, because you got them little ones there, and they're all going to want to do different stuff and travel the world.
You got it. Thanks for sharing what's going on with how Monavi's given you a more meaningful life, Steve. Really appreciate it. Guys, it's been a great call. We're going to open the lines like we always do. You can give a shout-out of where you're from. Wayne Eulery, Youngstown, Ohio.
Carl Kathy Firestone, Ohio.
Mauricio, Las Vegas.
Cat Raleigh White from Martha's Vineyard.
David Donna, Branford, Connecticut.
Steve Carney, Knoxville, Tennessee.
Ryan and Debbie, Chicago, Illinois.
Regis and Jody, Brooksville, Florida.
Joyce Johnson, Trinity, Florida.
Mary Chris UK. Woo!
Susan Rested, Champaign, Illinois.
Joanne and Josh Hill, Texas.